Oh, what's up, dude? I just now saw you in here. Oh, I better mute my speakers there so you're not hearing that. So what's going on, everybody? I'm gonna be running my like streaming with you guys from my phone. That way I can talk and keep my screen going. I do not really know how to do this whole live thing very well, so bear with me while I find my link. One second, guys. Sorry. There we go. This should take me to it, I think. Alright, cool. Can you guys hear me alright? There's only one of you in here, actually, but what's going on, man? Oh, great. Now I can hear myself twice. That is terrible for me. Alright. Yeah, if you don't mind, maybe go share the live, maybe? I don't know, on like Twitter or something. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, sorry if it's not running like super smooth. Man, it looks so much better resolution on your screen. It had me downsize from my 4K for the stream, and it was looking kind of shitty on my end for a minute. Oh, sweet, we got a few people in here now. So how's everyone doing? I don't even know if anybody can hear me. Should be able to. Okay, sweet. So how's everybody doing? I'm just kind of looking at some of this stuff that we've been talking about the last few days. It's kind of cool. I'm surprised there's been that much trading going on down here like this. Once we get more liquidity, people that want to do bigger swaps and provide more and buy more will actually be able to. So that's what I'm probably most excited for right now, just to add to the pool. Refresh that. Yeah, so this is how many H bar is in there, and then a matching amount of true. Pretty excited for this. I want to wait for hopefully a few more people will come in here at least. I want to do the Gemini thing for you guys, but I thought about doing it here. Where's the what? This will also be getting fixed. I believe it's right about 200 that will be, or 250 I think that'll be in here. I keep saying the wrong numbers all day today. I'm also on a little bit of a delay, so like I'm kind of watching on my screen probably what you guys are seeing, and it's coming in a little bit behind for sure. So bear with me on that. Who all is in here? I don't even know if I can see. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, that's fine. No. There we go. Alright, well, we're about 10 minutes in. I mean, did any of you guys have any questions about any of the stuff I've been doing, the stuff I've been talking about? I haven't, like, really put, like, a roadmap or a white paper. I don't know if white paper would even be the term I would use for it. I think roadmap sounds better for just the type of thing I'm seeing. White paper just sounds too technical for me, and I feel like this isn't really that technical, but, yeah. If you guys have any questions, put them down there. I'm going to look up here, and I'm going to show you guys the Geminis, right? So, you guys haven't even seen, like, a lot of this stuff on here is going to change here in, like, the next hour. They're actively working on it right now. The reward structure on this is, so all the NFTs from before that have ever been minted for me, whether it's Hatch Axis, on Sentient, if it's on Zeus, I don't care if it's listed, whatever. Every single NFT that I've created is going to get a 1x true multiplier, basically. I think I refer to it as true drop on these. So you get a 1x true drop, and then everything in this collection ranges from 2x to 10x. And the way that math will be figured out is there's 1 billion of the tokens total. So 1% of that is, or 10%, or no, yeah, 1% of that is 100 million, I believe. Right? Oh, I don't know if there is can I enable voice chat for you guys? I don't even know if I can do that. I have no idea. I'm terrible at all this stuff. I used to, if you go look through my playlist, I used to pump out like XRP videos like they were nobody's business once upon a time. That's why I have almost 1,000 followers still, but which I'm surprised. Hopefully some of them get notifications to come check this out. Let me just make sure I'm doing my math right, because, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, so 1% of 1 billion is 10 million. And I haven't released my tokenomics yet. I do have what I think I'm going to do anyway. This isn't 100% set in stone. I'm still working on all this, but I think I'm going to have 10% of it distributed through staking rewards, which that's all coming up. That's what this is all about. 10% through giveaways and airdrops. I still got to put some thought into that. I think there will be a dev wallet that will keep 10%, and then that can basically be used, for a website, for anything that needs to be done for the, the project to continue on. if we have to pay people, we had a lot of people helping today in the Discord. Thanks to all you guys. It's like all the Sentient team coming over and hooking it up. Stuff like that. People should be compensated for their time. I think I'm going to release 30% of it. I had originally said in a public sale, I don't think I want to use H-Suite's Launchpad. It's like a set price. It seems like it would be a pain to change. It's not going to necessarily reflect the price on the decks. So I honestly think that 30% is just going to slowly be provided to Saucer swap for the time being. I mean, I just think it's the fairest way. It's at the current value all the time. It's at market value. I can't influence it or anything like that. So I'm not saying anybody else is doing it for that reason. I just don't like. I don't like the optics on that. And then 40% will stay with the treasury, which that will be used for DAO activity, because this is going to turn into a DAO once all this is set up. After the staking and after a few things are done, then the DAO will be launched. I'm going to have council members. That's all got to be figured out. I'm not even really to that part yet. I just want to get through the holidays and the first of the year and all of this. But back to the rewards before I forget what the hell I'm talking about. The 1x, the 2x, all the way up to 10x, those rewards will be in True Tokens, and I'll be releasing 10 million of them in this airdrop. So that's one of the 10% that will be distributed, in ways like this. So, I guess it's 10% of the total that will be distributed as 1% of the total supply, I guess. And those amounts will probably go down. I'm not sure how that's all going to go, but we got to get tokens out here so we can try to get liquidity. Otherwise, nobody can trade, and it's not healthy. So that's really my main goal right now, is to get some into circulation. The Geminis, what's cool about them, there are 22 of them. This is the first time anybody's been told that, if you're watching this. All 22 of them will have True Crew status, so you'll be part of the rev share automatically, and they also, all of those come exclusively with a 20x rewards, and those rewards are going to be the 10 million divided by how many NFTs there are total, and then I got to do some math to figure out, it's basically what it'll be though. So you get 20 times what the average is, 10 times what the bottom is in this mint. There's only 22 of those, so happy hunting. They're in there, and I'll show them to you guys too. I have them pulled up here. I'm not going to go too much into the story of what they are yet, because I still haven't even got to the Wasteland Wanderer story. I wanted to get a couple of these pieces of the multiverse that I want to create out, see how the response was, and now the story is something I want to bring the community in on too. I haven't really said much about that, but that is the plan. But these are the Geminis. As you can see, there's 2 of them, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but yeah, just think about the word Gemini. They obviously have a connection, a tie to one another, and that is where I will leave that, because that stuff's really exciting and for another time. But yeah, True Crew and 20x on all of these bad boys. I love the way their eyes are like painted in. Anyway, fun stuff. I mean, nobody's even seen most of this stuff. I haven't shown nearly as much on teasers. Maybe I'll do some screen grabs and throw some of these out today. Get a little hype going ahead of the mint or something. But figured I would let you guys get that first peek. And yeah, so that's what's going on with that. What else is going on? So the staking, I'm still working on that, but we're going to use H-Suite for their staking as a service. All you'll have to do to be eligible is hold a specific NFT that will be getting minted probably right after New Year's. There will be 1,000 of those NFTs, and they're going to increase in price by 500 H-bar in groups of 100. I've seen some other projects do something similar to that, and for the purpose that these serve, I think that's really cool. After some community discussion, your whitelist and your discounts, keep that in mind. If you have a discount NFT, that will apply to the staking NFTs. And when I break down the pricing structure here for you in just a second, I think you'll see why that's going to be a good idea to hold on to some of those, if you're interested in this anyway. So the first 100, they're only going to be 500 H-bar. The second 1,000, then 1,500, 2,000, so on and so forth, all the way till the last 100 that get minted will be 5,000 H bar apiece. I'm not sure how long that'll take, but what I plan on doing, and I don't have a set percentage yet, I will have one before this all goes on, so everybody's totally clear. But most, and I mean like the vast majority of these tokens are going to be used immediately upon these sellouts. To add liquidity to the liquidity pool, so there's a more balanced trading environment. Because if people can't trade and swap our token freely without this massive impact like they're getting, nobody's going to want it. It doesn't matter what it does. You know, you got to be able to move it. That's the bottom line. You know, a lot of people are here for just the money. So if they can't access that, or they're not getting their money's worth, you know, people will lose interest really fast. That does come out to a total, by the time that is all stretched out, almost 3 million H bar being provided to a liquidity pool to match the true. So when you think about that volume wise, there will be a ton of it. Several million. I think I did some math based on the value last night or whatever it was at one point. It came out to there being like, you know, all of a sudden 30 million true tokens in the liquidity pool just coming from the project. That's not including any of you guys who want to add liquidity and get all your some of those fees along the way, because, you know, not financial advice. Everybody do what's best for them, and, you know, make sure you think about it and do research on all the concepts, like I said in Discord, and permanent loss, this, that, and the other. But for me, you know, it's the project that has at stake. I'm not going to take any of the true tokens myself either. I will make money still selling my art through the DAO. I can make money for that. The DAO is always going to be taking a big chunk of that from me. But, you know, I don't need to have the actual true tokens. I want this to be totally community ran. I've seen so many different avenues taken throughout. You know, I've been a shitcoin extraordinaire. I've been a utility coin maxi. I've been so many routes throughout my crypto journey, and I'm trying to apply all the things I liked and try to get rid of all the things I didn't like. But because 10% of the total supply will be in staking, there will be 100 million true tokens placed into that staking pool. And I'm not sure what the APY will be yet. They're going to be APY based. We're not doing the X amount per week just for having the NFT. It's not going to work like that. It will be based on your true holdings. So keep that in mind. You'll have to have a true balance for these to even be worth it. But I'm debating on the APY falling somewhere between 10 and 20%. And I've been advised to keep it on the lower end of that, but I also want to incentivize people a little bit, because this is for this to truly, you know, no pun intended, but for this to work the way it is intended as a DAO, decentralized, you know, no one person in control. I feel like we have to get the supply out there, and hopefully a lot of you guys hodl, but I do know that, you know, there will be people who want to take profits, and I encourage that. I'm never going to be one to tell you not to sell an investment. I mean, by all means, it's what a lot of us and you and me and a lot of us are here for half the time. I have all these little sticky notes all over my desk. You have to excuse me. I'm trying to see what else I need to talk about, but that would be the tokenomics. So, and you know, that's going to drive a ton of value to the token too. So people who are holding it already, when this staking thing launches, you know, I mean, think about it. All of a sudden, people are having to create this balance in order to access the APY. You know, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs in the pricing as we're adding this utility. And like I said, I'm not going to take any of the tokens for myself. You're not going to see that wallet move anything that's not going to like a direct sale, which I've described numerous times online now. Right now, because of lack of liquidity, up to the first 10 million tokens, or 10 million tokens worth, I guess I should say. If you needed to buy 10,000 right now, let's just go look. Let's say you wanted to spend 10,000 H bar, right? Sorry. You would say, all right, let me disconnect all this madness anyway. You got 10,000 H bar, and you want to throw it on some true, right? Right now, what's happening, and this will change as all this liquidity comes in. You'll see why this is so important to me. at 1,000, you're already suffering a 4% loss on your money, and I think that's a heavy fee. And I'm not hating on Saucer Swap. This is a liquidity issue, not a DEX issue. You add that, look at the price impact that you're actually taking right there. 30%. So by those first 10 million, and this would mainly probably be like Discord members and community members that I've already gotten to know. I doubt random people from the internet are even going to consider this. But if you did, I mean, look at that. You're losing, I mean, almost, what is that, 70 bucks? What? I can't do math for shit right now. 50, no, like $135. You know? Just because of that swap. You could save that by buying it directly from me. Just a thing. I'm not, and it will always be whatever this market value is. We will come right here and determine that. There will not be, there's no cheaper or anything like that. The only incentive is to avoid this because it's kind of crazy. And then if you do any of those direct sales, those HBAR will be put 100% in the liquidity pool again to just slowly fluff that out of there. I'm trying to think. I know some of you guys got to have a question. What else do I have? That would be the staking. There will be buybacks of the token. I know that sounds kind of weird, but as the project generates HBAR and whatever other tokens along the way, I think occasionally when we reach a certain balance, we will go ahead and buy some of our tokens back from the market at market price, to restore the treasury. I think that'll be a way that works. We'll also be having some of our mints. We'll have... they'll be heavily incentivized for true token holders, and I haven't figured out the ins and outs of how to make that work best yet, but it's something I'm talking to people about. Or maybe it could even be, and I want community input on this too, it could even be that you just receive a discount for spending true in the, which I actually kind of think that might work better. But I want everybody that's been talking to me and supporting all this and hanging out in Discord and Twitter and everything, feel free to voice your opinions. I mean, I want to hear from you guys. You guys know it's only been a few months ago since I showed up to Hedera, minted a couple photos, nothing really happened, and then started messing with the AI infused photography, pure AI, and just doing all this other stuff I started messing with, and here we are. I feel like I'm obligated to turn this project into something community-oriented, because all of a sudden, this wouldn't even be happening if it wasn't for Hedera. I mean, I tried minting. I beta tested for a lot of XRPL platforms. I was on OpenSea. Nothing ever sold. Like, I burnt everything before I came here. Like, I had tried even Circle of Life. I had minted that on Ethereum. Never sold. Destroyed it. I don't even have access to those accounts anymore. It's been so long. Those wallets are all seized up, but... the community's been really awesome, and yeah, I want everybody's input. That's why I was gonna do I considered doing it a little different than a DAO and just getting like input here and input there. But then I thought about it and I was like, one of the things in crypto a lot of people say is like it's fine to trust people, right? Like all of us have people that we do and don't trust, but what would you rather trust? Would you rather trust me or would you rather trust code? I'd rather trust code personally, but code doesn't have dilemmas ever. Well, I guess that's not true either, but they're different. They're not emotionally driven. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Ugh, this is terrible, man. They need to lock this asshole up. Hey, much appreciated, man. And don't feel like you're obligated to or anything. It's like I was telling somebody earlier. You're also shoring up the project. They talk about staking, securing the network by providing liquidity to that liquidity pool. You are essentially. I mean, you're not staking per se, but providing that liquidity is supporting the token, which in return will support the project. I guess it's more about the token at that point. It's really weird watching this delay. Like, I'm waiting to see my screen move. Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at this like LP rewards. Let's go to like the top 50, right? Ours is dropping a little bit because of the daily volume has went down a little bit, but it's not bad. I mean, you think about it, if we had that much volume, and a lot of these events are going to trigger volume too, that could be a good little return down the road if this has got, you know, a couple more decimals thrown on it. But yeah, see, that's just crazy to me. So it's saying we're losing what, 136 bucks. So let's just say this. That would mean, you know, you're losing out. What do I do it? It's so weird how it does that because of the slippage stuff. So you pretty much like 50,000 tokens you wouldn't get. And granted, they're worth a tenth of a penny, or well, 2/10 of a penny, whatever it is now, and so it's not that crazy, but it's enough, man. Talk about percentages. I mean, we're all here for percentages. You know what I mean? I can't. Yeah, so we're back to almost 0.03 again. And these fluctuations will also, the volatility will be a little more less bouncy as liquidity is provided. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta go check on my son. I'll be right back. Ask some questions so I got some material when I get back. Alright guys, I'm almost back. I just had to deal with my son for a minute. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, share it. It should be recording. So it's going on my playlist for TPI Lives, I think is what I made the playlist called. That way if you ever miss it, you can come back and watch me ramble for a little bit. Yeah, if you guys don't give me any help, I will definitely just ramble on. I'm good at it, unfortunately, but... I mean, it didn't even have to be about the project. If you guys want to ask me about what I ate for lunch, I don't care. I mean, I doubt you guys want to know about that. It could be anything. I mean, I want to get to know you guys, too, so, like... Maybe a space is more interactive. I don't know. I never do stuff like this, so, like... It's also on me for being slightly more than average awkwardness right now. And it's all good too, man. If we don't have a whole lot to talk about, we can always cut it short too. I mean, I just wanted to go over some of this stuff leading up to the mint here. This will be, oh, excuse me. This will be our last mint of the year. Our next mint is going to be the one for staking rewards, and we're going to take a slight break from any new art while that's going on, while we focus on these storylines, because there's a storyline for each of these mints, and even though I didn't have a story drop, there will still be limited editions of each story. Like I said, this is something I've been evolving on the fly. Like, I just got here a few months ago. I've learned so much from you guys, watching things that other projects are doing, that I'm like, dude, that'd be dope for me to have as a holder, you know, and then, you know, you implement it in your own style and just kind of, you know, taking pieces from here and there. I feel like that's how I've built my businesses over the past. Nice. I wish I had some shrimp. I haven't even eaten lunch yet. I'm drinking black coffee right now. I'm feeling like I'm about to freak out in my chair. But yeah. It's definitely evolving. I mean, it's cool because, you know, I'm dealing with some of the more like infrastructure technical side people too now, and like just stuff you could do with NFTs that I've never seen done anywhere else. And you know, the NFT community, I've been on multiple chains exploring options, because I'm a big intellectual property guy. Like, before I was a photographer, I tried the music thing for a while, and it was never going to be anything professional. But then when I got involved with cameras, I actually owned a production company briefly, and we were putting people in the studio. There's stuff on YouTube. It's kind of bad, but not on their behalf. I'm more so on mine. But I was always trying to bring people. It used to be YouTube. Like, man, you could go in here and you could get views, you know, and then maybe you could charge for ad revenue, yada, yada, yada. Well, then NFTs hit the scene, and in the beginning, you know, it was just like JPEGs of rocks, you know, pixel artwork. And, like, no offense to anybody who does this. Thanks for sharing that, man. Nobody that does any of that stuff, I'm not hating on your artwork or your ecosystem or anything like that. But, like, me personally, I just do not see the appeal in some of that stuff. I personally wouldn't invest in art just because of utility, whereas a lot of people won't invest in art for the pure sake of art. They want the utility, and to each their own. I think that's what's totally awesome about this stuff. But that's all I saw in the beginning, and then I started, doing some of this beta testing and realizing that NFTs are so much bigger than artwork and stuff too. You're talking about like health documents, your identity, your social security, your deed to your house, pedigrees. I mean, there's so many things that are going to go on chain eventually, or on Graph if you're on Hedera, whatever. You know what I mean? On the network. Maybe that'll be the way I say it, so I can be inclusive. But then just doing all this stuff, and you start seeing how I've already had a whole pot so far. Unfortunately, man, I feel like my teeth are about to shake out of my face. They just seeing the intellectual property, though, I really believe that, especially early as we all are. I mean, you look at Hedera. I haven't even looked recently, but the last time I looked, the market cap was only in like 1 or 2 billion. It wasn't even anything, which is still a ton of money. But you look at some of the bigger networks, it's way bigger. So Hedera is ripe for me, man. You'll never see me chase a green god candle anywhere. I do not believe in FOMO. I'm not gonna say I've never done it, but I don't do it anymore. I'll just say that. I just think that you got the governing council. I think listening to the founder's philosophy and stuff, he talks a very different game than a lot of people. I actually really enjoy listening to him talk, and I would actually, if any of you guys have like some awesome links of him really getting into some questions or into some data, I would love to find it, because I've had a hard time finding a lot of speeches from Lehman there. What was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I heard my daughter screaming. Oh yeah. So I really see it now as similar to how I used to see the production company I ran. Only now I'm in a position where I wouldn't say financially. As many of you know, we almost had to move recently. I don't know if I've even officially updated you. The only reason the puppy was able to happen is we were able to come to an agreement here at the home as far as the increase and some other things went. We were able to work it out. We're going to have to sacrifice quite a bit of things. It doesn't sound, I know I'm in America and some of you guys probably aren't, but for me, like, I have to watch football. It's a problem. I'm one of those guys. It's obnoxious. I love it, but I'm going to have to cut the satellite for us to stay. It's $300 a month, man, but like in all reality, it's not worth $300 a month. I watch like 4 games a week, whatever, but what is going on over there? But like, I see it is now I'm in a position where we're stabilizing at the house, and the community has been very generous when it comes to collecting. There's a few of you out there. There's a ton of people. It's cool going in Discord, because all the time people I don't know are like, oh, hey, I bought a Wanderer. Oh, hey, I got this. And it's like, oh my God, dude, it's I never thought it would be like this, to be honest. And but now, because of all that, I just feel like getting a little bit more FaceTime in the community. People are getting familiar with my name and my face. I do that stuff on purpose, guys. The only reason I don't have my camera on for you guys today is because my office is currently set up in our master bedroom, and it's laundry day. So if my wife found out that you saw what's sitting on the bed behind me right now, you would never hear from me again. So we're not going to go there today. But so getting back to what I was saying, I know a ton of tattoo artists that are, and I mean like phenomenal. If any of you guys are on Instagram, there is a young lady by the name of Cat Tour on there. Like Tattooer, but Cat, C-A-T. I'd be down to check that Telegram out. She is a phenomenal artist. One of the best I've ever seen. Certainly the best I've ever known personally. I mean, even this girl could go on these competition shows and smoke some of these guys. And I'm sure some of those guys have work that's awesome too, but she is really good. We're going to onboard her through the DAO. She's been interested. She has no idea how to go about it. She's also a full-time dog breeder. She's a wife. She is a busy woman. She has no knowledge of the ecosystems, the underlying technologies, the possibilities, how any of it works. If I were to tell her, she could figure it out. And I don't want to make it sound like she's not intelligent, because that's not the case. But she just doesn't have the time or really the drive to figure out, what wallet do I use? Granted, on Hedera you're limited, but what wallet, what platform, how do I market this? How do you do all that? Well, because of the community, I've seen all these different flavors, and I really feel like almost like a consultant standpoint, I can go to some of these artists and you just say, hey, yada yada yada, and then we bridge them over to NFTs, because a lot of them could have whole other lives going on. I mean, there's so many talented people out here who, for one, when I was doing the music videos, none of those, hey Pixel, what's up, none of those people have had the money to go spend at the studio. Like the studio I was taking them to, I think we were spending like $140 an hour. You're there for 5 hours to lay down one track, because none of these people were professional musicians. And it was just cool for me. At that point, I was doing all the production myself, coming out of my pocket for it, and then putting them on my YouTube for views. 1 second, guys. I gotta go check on my son. I'll be right back. Sorry, my son thinks any insect with wings is a bee. So the common housefly found in his room just now was giving him a panic attack, apparently. Where did I leave off? Oh, yeah, so I would pay for all their stuff to go through the studio. I'd film it. We'd do photography. We'd market it through our platform. And I was just keeping it for my YouTube channel, is basically what it was. There was no contract. Like, they still own their own music. It was all still their stuff. So I just look at it from like a business standpoint. There's a huge opportunity being missed by creatives who are not in the NFT space. And I don't care if you're doing poetry, maybe you're a performer, even like a contortionist, right? Those people can go on YouTube and go viral, but you could also create cool art utilizing your skills, turn them into NFTs, find a way to add some utility, not really for yourself, but for your collectors, make it, we all want to feel happy about owning the art we own, you know what I mean? Like, not only, yeah, this is cool, but guess what? It also earns me this, that's why RevShare is such a huge thing in this space. I mean, I didn't even know it was possible until I got here. Like, let's be clear about that. A lot of my ideas that I've come up with this, I will never sit here and tell you everything I do is 100% original as far as how I'm trying to structure things, because it's not. I take a look at all the big people, at least what look to be big people to me, and I just pick apart what they're doing, and then I come up with my own thing. It's like that's how business has always evolved, but that's how a lot of things move forward. But so now with the NFTs, seeing like royalties and all this stuff. Like, I have a friend, Daniel. He sings, does some like R&B style stuff. And he put it on Spotify. He was on iTunes, whatever else, And I don't know. I haven't asked him. It's been a while. But when I looked at it last time, it's not like the guy has millions of streams and downloads. So he's probably not really making anything, right? Well, if he had even just an ounce of utility added to that, where people, get something in return. Hey, we invested in this. It'll, hopefully the floor will rise. Even if it doesn't, we actually have a chance at getting something else the next time he does it, or whatever the marketing thing is for it, But he could do that with NFTs. I could basically, get these people, you onboard them, you come on, you educate them about some of this stuff. You say, here's a wallet, we'll set you up, let's store your keys, however that needs to be done. There's multiple options for that. You just get them totally set up and turnkey, and you say, here it goes. You now have, a Sentient account. You're plugged into Zeus. You're plugged into Hash Access, Hash Guild. So I'm not gonna name them all. There's so many. Hook them up with HBAR Arts. That's my favorite community in this space. And then the Sentient community is right there, neck and neck. You guys have been awesome. I just want to bring people on, plug them in with all of us, and it's going to be up to everybody else if people like them, if there's an investment that needs to happen. I mean, not everybody's going to show up and, have a round of applause and bottles of champagne popping. Some people are going to flutter and disappear probably, but my whole thing is that as an artist, most of which that I know are struggling artists, I still think you bring your NFT out, especially in a bear market, and you say, hey, anywhere from 100 to who knows 1,000 HBAR. I wrote this track. Here's 100 copies of it. This is all I'm gonna put out. You know, they gotta understand, like, there's no more putting it out. You gotta cap that thing. This is it. You know, but they can make money. People could enjoy their stuff. They could get discovered. They could make new friendships, relationships, built online, connections, you know, and get involved in the digital future. And you look at it now, MetaMask, that whole thing is going on. I am not a fan of MetaMask or anything consensus related whatsoever. As an XRP guy, I'm not even going to get into the JP Morgan ETHgate stuff. I'm sure you are all aware of what would come out of my mouth anyway. I am that dude. So, they, regardless, being on the pre-set up tokens or whatever they call that list, that still puts liquidity in Hedera at the fingertips of probably millions of people who don't have it accessible right now. So I did go vote on it. I did vote for it. I just think mass adoption is the number one thing that needs to happen. Outside of mass adoption, interoperability is the next thing. That's a whole different thing and doesn't really apply. Well, it will apply to NFTs. How sick will that be when you can say, yeah, I minted this on Hedera, and they say, oh, well, you know, I got an XRPO wallet. And you say, well, that's all right. We just send it through here, and boop, it redoes itself somehow. I don't know if that's possible or how it would work, but that's kind of what the goal is. I got to come up with exactly how it's going to work. You know, is the True token going to fund stuff for these artists to get them on board and to market for them? Is it going to be HBAR reserves? How are we going to build HBAR reserves? You know, a lot of the stuff still to be figured out for sure. One of the things I didn't bring up, and I got to get off here at about 2, but one of the things I didn't bring up yet is something I want to talk to everybody about. And we might not be able to really do this until the DAO because you would want the community to vote for it to be accepted properly. But I think even with some of the treasury wallets and stuff, I think for some of this rev share that comes in, what if we purchase other rev share NFTs from our favorite projects? You know, there's several out there for Sentient. I mean, I love as much HBAR as I'm, you know, throwing around over there. I'd love to get some from other people too. I just think it's so cool, you know, to get a percentage of what they're doing because they're going to blow up, man. Interface wise and UI, everything they're doing is awesome. I think it's by far the funnest platform for me to mint on and to cruise around on. I don't like to use the word best. I don't know the ins and outs of what makes a minter best, but I've had no issues over here whatsoever, and everything's smooth and looks good. Good community around it. I guess that's it, man. I'm getting in ramble mode pretty heavy. Look, they're doing some work. You guys see it? About to get an update here soon. Probably got some. Oh, not yet. Won't be long. See what's going on. If anything changed over here. So yeah, when you think about that, if you ever wanted to say, "Hey, I want to invest more into this project," buying tokens is obviously one way. You have to buy tokens to really get involved with the project, but using them to provide liquidity and yeah, if you buy them direct and I supply liquidity, that's cool. But that also, if you go look at, I'm not going to pull the liquidity pool up, but if you look at it right now, I think it's 98.9% belongs to the project. My goal is to when the token is sufficiently distributed, and what that means is something, you know, the DAO will probably come up with. A lot of these decisions I will not make until the DAO's been formed. But eventually the project itself, in my opinion, should totally exit the liquidity pool. And I'm not saying at one shot, because that would be Rug Central. I'm saying on a schedule, once, you know, X% of supply has been released and is in free circulation, you know, then you say, okay, well now, every week or day or month or whatever the hell it is, on this date at this time, a sell order of, or a withdrawal order of such and such liquidity will be executed. That way people are aware, you know, nobody's caught off guard. I mean, you can even, once that schedule's set, and this is not financial advice either because I don't like to be like this, but if you know what that type of schedule is, you can kind of try to account for what the market reaction would be to certain moves. You might be able to do some scalping or something. I don't know. I don't play those games, but just something to think about on your end if that's what you're into. And overall, I think it's going to be good. I being a creative, I'm a part of a Facebook group down here with about 1,200 local people. They're all photographers, models, makeup artists. I've worked as a photographer professionally for over 10 years now. Before that, I was a personal trainer and behavior change coach for years. So I made a ton of connections through all that. I did briefly was into amateur bodybuilding and stuff like that. So back in those days, there's just a ton of people I've met with a ton of different talents. And NFTs, man, they are a way to really, really bring it home, in my opinion, especially for intellectual property for creators. I think it's the single-handedly the coolest piece of technology to ever be handed to creators. I mean, what's better? YouTube is awesome. It's bringing it to people, sure. But there's never been a way to lock in, on chain, if you will. Everything just happens. You don't have to. It takes so much out of it. I mean, I also have some projects on, data, record keeping. That's how I'll say it for now. I don't want to give too much away. If there's any devs out there who work in Hedera, especially with NFTs, I'm going to talk to Sentient and them and see if they maybe know anything, just because they might. But there's some things, certain types of documents I would like to create an app and a network for where people could store certain types of records to make something a little more legitimized and immutable that way. And public also. I think that's a big part, is being able to publicly see, what's going on. But that is something for another day. We didn't get a lot of questions, but that's all right, guys. Hopefully my ramblings gave you guys enough information. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. If you don't mind, go subscribe. What's up, Jay? Make sure you subscribe. Like the video. You can share it if you want. I don't know if that really matters to lives. It's kind of weird once it ends, but whatever. I'm just rambling now. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will be in Discord in a few moments if anybody wants to chat it up some more. And, yeah, man. You guys enjoy your day and stay tuned, because this, from what I was told, these times are correct. The only thing that you'll see is changing is because this is the whitelist. This should change to 250, which I'll say for the 9th time, but the first time I got it correct. These are all supposed to get their 1x spots. These are some of the True Crew one of ones. The Wasteland Wanderer is the only whitelist you actually will get from those is the assimilated, and then the discount for wasted should apply, and the discounts for all of Event Horizon should apply. And after talking to some community members earlier today, those particular NFTs will continue to have utility in collections moving forward. So just something to keep in mind if that's something you're holding on to and something you like to use. Like I was saying, I appreciate that, man. Like I was saying, the staking model, basically the way I plan on selling those. I mean, if you happen to have the 25% off, and even though nothing's been minted for a while, and let's just say we're at the 5,000 H-bar mark, you're saving 1,000 H-bar, 1,250 H-bar, just for still having that thing. That's way more than you paid 200 for it, maybe 150 if you got it whitelisted. So, I mean, or if you bought it, I guess you could have got it off Zeus too for more, but just something to keep in mind, guys. I'm going to hop off here for real, and I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your weekend, guys.